What's up guys, Arron here from Dinny Collins Fitness, and today we're just talking about an overall view and in my opinion why every single diet on the planet, specifically weight loss, usually works, okay? So please just be aware from the get-go, no matter what your nutrition approach is, I am not against any form of dieting or nutrition or lifestyle at all. This is not a call out video. This is not me saying one way is better than the other. In fact, I think it's quite the opposite. When it comes to dieting, I really believe individuality is key, and what works for you will not work for somebody else, and vice versa. Two people can do the exact same diet. One will feel amazing and one will feel terrible, okay? So today we're just going to talk, guys, the loaded topic, and I might catch some flack for this, of why all weight loss diets work, okay? So we're just going to jump in straight away. Usually most diets focus on principles instead of magic formula. Most diets follow a set of principles and there's no big secret recipe, guys. So off the top of my head, most diets find a way of getting you into a calorie deficit and consuming less calories than you are right now. So the typical story, let's imagine you're just somebody that eats relatively what you want Monday to Friday, a few beers on the weekend, and there's a slight calorie spike there, and that's just your average go-to, okay? So off the top of my head now, let's talk about calories in, calories out first. They will give you a calorie goal, there's your deficit, stick to it, bang, okay? Flexible dieting has the same approach. Ketogenic diet. Okay, the way they get you into a deficit is they remove an entire food group. So cutting carbohydrates out of your diet completely, replacing it with fats and a little bit of protein. Majority of the time, there's a high chance you will now land in a calorie deficit because you've taken out an entire food group, okay? Similarly enough with vegans and vegetarians. When you take out a food source, when you cut out your chicken, meat, eggs, etc., chances are now you're going to fall into a calorie deficit if you're trialing it out because you're taking out an entire food source. Okay? Intermittent fasting. If you give yourself a feeding window and you literally say, I'm not going to eat 16 hours of the day or whatever your fast is, chances are, again, you're going to fall into a calorie deficit regardless, okay? And again, the classic things of like your Slimming World, your Sins, etc., usually they will put a limit on the amount of sins and treats you are allowed to eat, and in turn, they hope to make you fall into a calorie deficit as well. So guys, number one reason, in my opinion, of why all weight loss diets work is they find some way of getting you to consume less calories, and they will dress it up in the sexiest and fanciest way possible. They will talk about hormones, energy levels, etc., and it all works. It's all great. It's what works for you that is key. So that's the first big thing with weight loss diets. They find some way of getting you into a calorie deficit. Number two, and this might sound so basic, okay, but again, it's why all diets work. Most diets will recommend that you cut out the majority of nonsense in your diet. So reduce the amount of sugar, alcohol, takeaways, fats and grease, trans fats, the bad fats, and consuming less shit than you normally would, okay? I don't know of any diet on the planet that recommends consuming more sugar than usual, consuming more alcohol than usual, and upping your trans fat intake and have more takeaways, etc. I don't know of any diet on the planet that recommends that. The second big thing, guys, is 99% of diets will recommend you have 80 to 90% of whole foods, natural foods from the natural source, loads of greens, loads of protein, loads of good veggies and fruits, and reasonable carbohydrate intake. In turn, when you take out a lot of the shit out of your diet, you are naturally going to feel better, okay? Your body's not digesting sugar, the blood sugars aren't up and down all over the place, it's not trying to digest greasy, fatty takeaways, it's not trying to process chemicals constantly. So in turn, you will naturally have better energy, better mood, better training, and overall just feel better, okay? So guys, That's the reality of dieting, okay? So this is not me being against any form of dieting. Your body will respond to what works best for you, and what works best for me is individual to me. Please keep in mind, and I'm doing this for the reason of most people get extremely anxious, overwhelmed, and just confused when it comes to diet, nutrition. Please keep in mind, no matter what diet you hear about, okay, no matter what, they usually focus on those two large principles. Finding some way of getting you to consume less calories, and finding some way to make you consume less bullshit, okay? So in turn, you are going to feel better, lose weight, and say, this diet is amazing, when in reality, it's the principles that just work, okay? So, again, in summary, I'm not against any diet, okay? I actually promote all diets. I genuinely believe there's a place for intermittent fasting, ketogenic, vegan, vegetarian, you name it. I have probably recommended it to some people, okay? Guys, I hope that helps. I hope it just relieves a little bit of the mental and emotional clutter that you feel around food, diet, weight loss, nutrition, and I hope that helps, okay? Have a great day. Let me know what you think below.